The purpose of my speech is to inform and educate my fellow peers on abduction and more so focusing on parental child abduction. According to Parents.com, about every 40 seconds in the United States, a child becomes missing or is abducted. Dictionary.com defines abduction as the illegal carrying or enticing away of a person, especially by interfering with a relationship, as the taking of a child from its parent. An example of abduction would be the Carlina White story, in which a young child was taken from the hospital at birth and hadn't found out until 18 years later. As far as parental child abduction goes, NCJRS.gov defines it as the taking, retention, or concealment of a child or children by a parent, other family member, or their agent in derogation of the custody, including visitation rights of another parent or family member. An example of parental child abduction would be the movie Taken From Me, the Tiffany Rubin story, where a mother and a father were no longer on speaking terms and they had a child, and the father ended up taking the child on a vacation to China, and the child was never returned and legal action had to be taken. According to LegalBeagle.com, parental child abduction, also known as parental kidnapping, is one of the most common types of child abductions and occurs most frequently during and immediately after a divorce and custody proceedings. The Federal Parental Kidnapping Prevention Act was enacted in 1980 to help prevent parental child abduction. It is specifically designed to prevent parents from taking children across state lines and initiating custody proceedings in the state. This information was also found on LegalBeagle.com. Out of 846 child abductions recorded, about 23% was recorded as parental child abductions per NCJRS.gov, or the National Criminal Justice Reference Service. This was recorded around 2002 or 2003. International parental kidnapping. Federal law prohibits a parent from removing a child from the United States or retaining a child in another country with intent to obstruct another parent's custodial rights. This information came from Justice.gov. Justice.gov also states that child victims of international parental kidnapping are often taken from a familiar environment and suddenly isolated from their community, family, and friends. They may miss months or even years of schooling, and the name, birthday, and physical appearance are altered to hide their identity. Kidnapped children are at risk for long-term psychological problems, including anxiety, eating disorders, nightmares, mood swings, sleep disturbances, and aggressive behavior. As adults, child victims of international parental kidnapping may struggle with identity, relationship, and family issues.